Hey guys, welcome back. Now, one of the biggest things everyone wants to know in crypto is where are the prices headed? What will be the price of Bitcoin or the entire crypto market at the end of this year, or in 1 year, in 2 years, etc. And so in this video, we're going to try to answer those questions. Now, as no one knows the future, how on earth are we going to get an exact price forecast? Well, we're going to use logarithmic regression. Logarithmic regression is a fancy term which basically just means a way of modeling a situation where growth happens quickly at first and then slows down over time. And this is the opposite of exponential growth, which grows slowly at first and then accelerates over time. And so in this video, we'll be looking at Bitcoin's annual performance versus the entire crypto market's annual performance, and then we'll see whether we can base the crypto market forecast off Bitcoin's price. Then we'll get some price targets of where we might be finishing at the end of this year, and then we'll finish with some price targets for the end of 2023. As always, if you do enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like, always appreciated. Okay, first up, I like to use Bitcoin's price as a proxy for the entire market. However, is this the right thing to do? Well, I went back and looked at the performance of both to compare, and these were the results. Ready? Let's do this. So firstly, I wanted to answer the question, can we forecast the crypto market prices off of Bitcoin's price? So what I did is I went back and looked at the previous 5 years worth of performance. So we've got 2018, 2019, 2021, and so far in 2022. And over here is the performance of Bitcoin, and over here is the performance of the crypto market. Now, I'm putting a big bias on recency. So the most recent data is much more valuable than older data. And this is simply because the further we go back, the less useful the data. And this is because the people involved in Bitcoin and crypto 10 years ago, it was just tech people and the early innovators, where today we're now bringing on institutions, we've got retail, etc. Okay, so starting most recent and going back, so far in 2022, after this recent pump, Bitcoin is now at break even from where it started the year. And the crypto market in general is now just down 2.5%. So they're both very similar. Now, going back to 2021, last year, which was an epic year for crypto. Now, Bitcoin went up 57%, but the crypto market tripled that performance, going up 184%. So we can definitely add a multiple for crypto market, because obviously this includes all the altcoins as well, which you would think in a bull market go up a lot more. However, after crunching the data, 2020 was very surprising. Bitcoin actually outperformed the crypto market. I mean, yes, not by much, but still excellent year for Bitcoin. And 2019, again, very surprising. Bitcoin actually outperformed the market, 87 versus 54. And then in a down market or bear market, Bitcoin typically does better. In 2018, it only dropped 73 versus 78. So what conclusions can we draw? Well, favoring the more recent data, I would say if Bitcoin doubles, you can certainly assume the crypto market will double and maybe even get a multiple. So if Bitcoin doubles, you may say the crypto market with all the altcoins could triple. So being conservative, I would say it's like for like, or maybe add one multiple. Now, onto some specific price targets. And so here we have our logarithmic regression model. And basically it just models something that grows very quickly and then slows down over time. So this is all very colorful, but what are we looking at? Let's break this down. So we've got different bands here. And also they have different labels, so let's just go through these. So this one's labeled basically a fire sale, and historically, if you've been able to buy in this band, you have done very, very well. Then it moves on to buy, so obviously a great time to buy. We have accumulate, so still a great time to be accumulating. We then move to where we are today, which is still cheap. Right in the middle band is hodl or hold. Now the next one is this a bubble? And we have FOMO intensifiers. So prices are shooting up and the fear of missing out is escalating as everyone wants to jump on board. Then you go to, is this a bubble? As it's getting out of hand. We then have sell, seriously sell, and then maximum bubble territory, which only gets hit a couple of times. Another thing to point out is that even if the price stays in the exact same band, because things generally go up over time, you'll see that even though the price here is about $500, even if it stays in this band, it's still going up to $1,000, $1,500. So down here, even though it's in the same band, it's still a great time to be accumulating. So where are we at today? Well, even after the pump, we are still in one band below, which is still cheap, and Bitcoin being around $45,000. Now, fair value for right now, according to this model, would be around $60,000. And I think this makes sense because of everything going on right now with inflation and the threat of rate hikes and even a war and COVID. This has probably pushed down prices into this lower band. So apparently it's still cheap. So that is the model where it stands right now. So let's do a forecast of where the price and the market might be headed by the end of this year. Okay, so moving on to the price forecast finishing at the end of the year. So we'll scroll forward to December, which will be here. And so for Bitcoin, and this is the middle value, would be $85,000. So this would be setting new all-time highs and finishing very strong. And if it stays in the lower band where we are right now, it still finishes around $60,000, which would still be pretty strong and probably still outperforming the stock market. And one band above gives us a price of cracking the $100,000 mark. So I guess if everything went well, if COVID cleared up, and if Russia and Ukraine found an early resolution, I would say this is still a possibility. The ones that are much less likely would be the top band. So this is giving 288,000. Probably won't be getting there. And bottom band gives us around 25,000. So there are still some people calling for a 30,000 or 20,000 Bitcoin. So they're essentially saying it's going to be back in this lower band. So I think this is probably very unlikely, but if it does, it's going to be a buying opportunity of the decade. And to finish up, let's see what the price forecast is for 2023. So end of next year will be about here. Okay, so the middle value is saying it's cleared the $100,000 mark, being around 130,000, which for just over a year and a half would be an excellent result. Basically about a 5x. Staying on the band below, still gets us close to the $100,000, and the band above being 180,000, which would be epic. Now, blow off top, what does this say? Well, this is saying almost $500,000 for Bitcoin, which, to be fair, there are some people calling for that figure. And then basically the fire sale price is going to be around $40,000, which isn't far from where it is today. So I think it's safe to assume that this logarithmic regression model paints a very bright picture for crypto. And considering everything going on today, the prices are still holding up pretty well. And if things swing into crypto's favor, then we definitely could be seeing some big moves coming over the next year. Being able to know in advance where the crypto market will be going is obviously the holy grail for investors. Well, unfortunately, as no one knows the future, all we can do is look at different valuation techniques and models and see if we get some kind of consensus. Now, let's all be very clear. All of this is just speculation. Does this mean that these are going to be the prices in the future? No. Is this something to sell your house and bet your life on? No. But is this another set of data points to give us a rough idea and better than doing nothing at all? Yes, I think so. And remember, in the short term, crypto prices can still go in either direction. Just something to bear in mind. And interestingly, Raoul Pal also has recently done some logarithmic regression modeling as well. And his results were even more bullish, saying, assuming Bitcoin stays one standard deviation below the trend line, this gives us a price at the end of 2024 of $600,000. Now, take that for what it's worth, but I always like to stay on the conservative side of price predictions. However, either way, the logarithmic regression model certainly paints a very positive picture for the crypto market over the coming years. So, there you are, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Any thoughts or comments, just post them below. But for now, just to say, if you did enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like. And a big thank you to everyone who does. If you haven't yet subscribed, click below and join us. Got some great videos coming up that you don't want to miss. Okay, cheers, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.